Greetings and welcome to another episode of Mr. Zeppo's Tarot Journal and Cartomancy Radio Reading Hour. Today, we unbox Buddha Wisdom, Shakti Power by Laura Santi. Let's get right to it, folks. Thank you for joining me. If you're new, then be sure to tune in for updates as I revise and updraft old episodes, and I re-record certain parts and reintroduce the concept of this show. I've rambled about it quite a bit, but there's going to be a major wave of updates coming, both here in Tarot Journal as well as all the other segments. Okay, so let's unbox this hopefully very beautiful deck. Okay, a little blurb from the back. Buddha Wisdom Shakti Power Deck and book set presents sacred figures from the Buddhist and Hindu pantheon of deities and demons to help us with our earthly challenges. So, deities and demons. What does that mean? To the best of my understanding, based on, amateur research and just curiosity, looking into things, the most relevant in terms of how it impacts our lives, plural, and applicable, I think it's practical, I think it makes sense, thesis about divine beings and demons is that they are in fact natural organic aspects of the universe, and some of them even comprise the internal functions of the human psyche. But as always, I know I could be wrong. Let's unpack the deck itself, because this one comes in its own shrink wrap. That certainly keeps them nice and tidy and really minimizes any potential damage during shipping and packaging and handling. But it's just more plastic. And they're super tight usually, so they're hard to open. There you go. I think I got it started. Teasing it out. There you go. That's a nice big chunk. Okay. This is a nice full-size deck, a little larger than, say, medium, but not quite jumbo size. That's the extreme I think I've seen decks get to, very much jumbo sized. We honor the first card that faces up. The back is beautiful. It's in a sort of vintage amber brown tint, and it's a beautiful opening flower lotusy mandala thing. And the first card facing up is number 1, the Infant Ganesh, remover of obstacles. Call on Ganesh to remove obstacles in your life. Nice. Now I wonder if there's suits, if there's just it's a straight pantheon. Right, I'm at 19. Number 20. Number 20, Vajrasattva, father of the 5 Buddha families. You are fine just the way you are. Ooh. All right, these are beautiful, I presume, hand-painted, although there seems to be some graphic design elements going on too. Very traditional in their style. I don't know that they are vintage images. They might be, though. They might be vintage images restored digitally or altered and made to work digitally. Who knows? But there is a grand total of 50 cards. The 50th card is Paraimor Dial Buddha Varjahadra. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Please forgive me. But it's brilliant sky, illuminating sun. The entire universe manifests out of awareness. So those are very Eastern and mysterious and Buddhist and Hindu, obviously. And the Little Black Book, I'm sure, the Little White Book, as it's commonly called, I'm sure has plenty to reveal. You might even, for curiosity, and call it a reading, take a look at the 3 cards I just looked at, right? 1, 20, and 50. Call that a 3-card reading. It's random enough. Could have gotten them. My default question, what should I be aware of as I, pursue next steps? How to use the deck on page 8 from the book. Quote, stabilize your mind in the deep love and respect. In the deep love and respect that is the substance of your life and of life itself. For you, the world will cease to be a confusing, frustrating, disappointing place. It will become permeated with magic and mystery and miracles. Swami Chetanananda. I find that a very powerful and true statement. Okay. Well, let's find the cards that we are looking for here. Sorry, I had a cough. The cards. Number 1, the infant Ganesh, remover of obstacles. Ganesh is like that uncle who knows everyone and can introduce you to anyone. When practitioners want to work with a deity, they always ask Ganesh for help beforehand, reciting his mantra and making offerings. Okay. Then it goes on to talk about how he's portrayed as an infant sometimes. Very sweet and yet powerful. He has many forms, as do most of the gods of Buddhist and Hindu pantheons, but their features remain the same. He is a very large creature, Ganesh. Therefore, if you don't know who Ganesh is, he's often embodied as a massive elephant man. And that largeness makes him capable of removing obstacles. He represents the earth level of existence. Eating food is a part of life. Okay. All right. So a very kind of broad depiction of the deity, and not so much like a description of how to interpret the card. That's interesting. So it really leaves it up to you. It doesn't have a predefined thing. It just gives you like a reading or a redux of the historical deity. So the next card was 20, Vajrasattva, father of the 5 Buddha families. The complete embodiment of all of their wisdom and the pater familias of us all. So like a meta-family. He exists beyond time and space in that place of sameness and oneness before the birth of the 10,000 things. You beseech him when you want to purify yourself in body and speech and mind, and realizing the deepest natures of each of those. In our quest for happiness, he helps us to realize that we were never impure, never full of sin, or in need of any improvement at all. Vajrasattva has various rules, but this realization of self-acceptance is the one most commonly sought after by practitioners practicing his sadhana. He also helps keep one devoted to practice and repairs broken tantric vows. Now this gets into some symbology, whereas the earlier one was really just about the god. A golden Vajra balances one end above his right palm, representing the mind, one of the ways a practitioner can enter into the mandala of reality. The left hand holds a silver bell that is at rest in his thigh, representing wisdom. Together they represent the fusion of all polarities into one enlightened experience. All right, the fusion of polemics into one experience. 50. Primordial Buddha Vajradhara, brilliant sky illuminating sun. Vajradhara is as blue as the brilliant sky. His consort is as pure as the white light streaming from the sun. Clothed in the, and the depiction is there are two figures, and they are in, tantric coitus. Clothed in the silk and jewels of royalty, they sit high above the clouds in the vast expanse of space. He represents the highest state of being. He is the revealer of mysteries and the mystery itself, the source of all manifestations of enlightenment. He is the fusion of both creation and the potential of creation. The states before states exist. Sometimes he appears without consort and is part of a trio forming the Shakyamuni Trinity in Buddhism. The Trinity illustrates the three aspects of Buddha. The first, which is Vajradhara's level, is called Dharmakaya, the distillation of form from without form, pre-existence, becoming what we think of as reality. The second is the phase of Sambhogakaya, the dwelling state where the Buddha is in paradise or in pure land. The third manifests when, out of compassion, the Buddha comes to the earth to help sentient beings, and this is called the Dir. Sorry, that sounded like I said a D. This is called Nir, with an N, Nirmanakaya. Out of nothingness but awareness, this entire universe manifests, and at the end of time, it reabsorbs again into a single seed of potential, and that potential is Vajradhara. So in other words, the unity. 50 is the complete unity of consciousness. And then at the end of the book, right after that, there is the author's story and inspiration, and the history of Thankas. And that's the style of painting, which originated in around the 10th century. Very cool. All right, so I'm interested and intrigued. This is going to be a very mysterious and very Zen, very Buddhist, very Hindu deck to work with. And I know that there are decks that it will directly, excuse me, I know I have some decks that it'll directly synergize with, and others that it will be like a complement of, I'll get into the system and how I am distributing decks in it in another episode. For now, I'm going to keep this one nice and short like I promised I would way back when, and thank you for joining me in this first impression unboxing of Buddha Wisdom Shakti Power by Laura Santi. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. And so if you're one of those tarot nerds like myself who's always got their eye out on the lookout for a deck to add to the collection, and you don't have any Buddha, Hindu, art, deity ones, this is one to go dig up. Hit up the internets and ask for it. As always, I thank you, and I send you peace, love, and grooviness, and I invite you humbly to join me soon for a future episode where I will be unboxing Alana Fairchild's Rumi Oracle, and then not too long after that, in the coming days, I will be unboxing Colette Baron Reid's Goddess Power Oracle, as well as the Mystical Shaman Oracle by Alberto Vololdo, Colette Baron Reid, and Marcella Lobo, illustrated by Jenna della Grottaglia. That one's got a lot of people on it. A big coalition of collaborative artists there. That's pretty cool. Rock on. So that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, I have been your humble host, the incorrigible Mr. Zeppo.